All right, let's talk a little bit of NFL action. So we got to see some of these guys, some of these rookies play. We got to see some veterans that are in new locations. I preface this in the open. It's the first week of the preseason. None of this is like set in stone. Everybody knows that things are rapidly going to change. I mean, think of just how many preseason heroes there have been that have gone on to be complete, absolute nobodies in the NFL. But anything that has kind of crossed our radar and that we've noticed. My first main takeaway, it was the buzz of all of Saturday. Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels made highlight real plays. And we're not talking about that they went 3 for 5 for 60 yards.
Yeah.
No, they made some real big nuts having throw the ball. That Jayden Daniels throw on the sideline in tight coverage, I was like, woo, that is a great ball. And then we get to see Caleb Williams do the stuff that we know he does best, which is improvise, flick the ball off his hands to his running back, find guys in stride while he's moving the pocket. I think that both these guys are going to have unbelievable rookie seasons. And I have said this, that if I'm going to bet on somebody to win Offensive Rookie of the Year that has not the best odds, I'm taking Jayden Daniels, and I think that Caleb Williams' season is going to be right up next to his. And it could be one of these situations where in 10 years we're comparing the both of them and arguing who was the better quarterback.
This Saturday gave so much to NFL fans because Caleb Williams looked like he had an NFL arm and he looked like he had been playing in the NFL for a while. Mm-hmm. And he had a specific throw. He was rolling to his right. And I hate using the term off platform because I just like throw on the run. And he was throwing on the run and he hits Cole Kmet on the sideline. A beautiful throw. And I'm just thinking this could be all season for the Bears. He is playing quarterback unlike a Bears quarterback that I've seen since Jay Cutler's best year there, maybe, and I think he's already more poised. His arm strength was impressive. Yep. It was, and I'll buy the hype on him. Jayden Daniels and that
we're not doing that segment anymore.
And that deep, well, it's stuck in my head now. Jayden Daniels, the deep pass was brilliant. It was brilliant because he knew how starved, or the offense rather, knew how starved the city had been for a quarterback that's going to let his nuts hang, that's going to throw it deep and throw it deep with accuracy. He didn't need to go there. He had a tight end open over the middle, yep. But he said, I'm going to show the fans why they drafted me this high. I'm going to take a deep pass, and if it gets completed, the phone lines in D.C. are going to be lit all week. And it's going to be he made a name for himself as a DC quarterback already off that one deep pass. His touchdown run was good. I hated seeing him miss an easy screen pass. It's fine in his first game on an NFL field. I'm not reading too much into that. What I will read into with him, he looks tiny. He looks thin. And he needs to get with Lamar Jackson's trainer.
Lamar came into the league pretty thin.
Yes, and I was just discussing this with my moron friends. They were asking me about him. What can I expect? What he looks thin. Yeah, he's going to need to bulk up because that is not an NFL frame. The difference between Caleb and Jayden Daniels right now, Caleb Williams has an NFL quarterback's frame and body. Jayden Daniels is going to have to be very, very selective with the hits that he takes and avoids. Because if he stays upright, big year for Washington. If he starts getting hit and battered around, that could be a bad time.
Admittedly, I'm not as concerned with that because I think that actually I am. I brought this up in his pre-draft process. I don't think it hurts his career. I don't think it's going to come back to bite him or anything like that. You're not wrong. It's something that's been considered as we've just talked about him as a player. I'm sure he's going to bulk up. So you bring up the good point of whoever's trainer is, that does need to be a high priority. That needs to be the team's high priority next offseason of get bigger.
Yeah.
Because he is a tall, long athlete that has room to add. And if he's going to be as athletic as he can be outside of the pocket and never have to worry about like any really game-changing injuries, he needs to add weight. Like, great example, Cam Newton was a big dude, and he got hit. Josh Allen, I think, is probably one of the stronger comparisons of just a guy who's got like a ton of weight on his frame, but is a really good, long, accelerating vertical athlete that can accelerate downfield when he's got space. But he doesn't get hit that much because he knows how to protect himself, and he's just big as shit. I'm trying to think of like somebody else who's like a good athlete that's like filled out their frame a little bit more. I mean, he's a rookie, so I don't think we don't need to overthink this.
He's a rookie, but that was just something that I saw on the screen. It was enough for me to notice, so that means it's actually a thing. Because a lot of this, I'm not sitting here looking at the frames of the second team defensive tackle. I'm not. A lot of them are 6'5", 300.
It's always going to come up for a quarterback, especially when they come into the league with not size concerns, but just question marks. It's going to get resolved. He's going to be fine. My second one that I was super juiced up about, we're big fans of South Dakota State and Isaiah Davis. He had a nice play for the Jets. Braylon Allen had a huge play where he ran somebody the hell over in that Washington game. I'm juiced up by expectations just for this Jets offense, but more importantly, the depth that they have at running back. Last offseason, we knew that Breece Hall was going to be good, but then there was this, okay, who's the next guy? And they brought in Dalvin Cook. That didn't really pan out. The offensive line is going to be better because they were bullish on drafting players, bringing in Tyron Smith. I think that there are 3 different dudes in this running back room that they can turn to, and the Jets are going to have a really easy time running the football. If we're talking about 3/4 of the way into the season, the Jets being in the top 7 of just rushing offenses in the NFL, it's going to sound weird to say because Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be the premier guy, but I think that running back room really, really stood out to me, seeing just clips and then also watching the game.
I wouldn't say it was just 3. I would extend it to 4 because I liked what Israel Abinaconda did. I forget
that they have Izzy Abakinda there.
He stepped up last season because their running back room was plagued with injuries, but they had guys keep stepping up and they kept scoring touchdowns and kept moving the ball down the field. That is a good point that you had. They are loaded, and then I like what they did on the offensive line. You know, they bring in Tyron Smith. If he gets dinged up, who do we have? Oh, Olu Fashanu ready to step in. Josh Simpson at left guard, fine. Center, fine. Elijah Vera Tucker, excited to see what he can do. Yep. And bringing in Morgan Moses, good veteran ad. He knows how to play offensive tackle. The Jets running backs, I'm high on them, and especially their running game. Who I am low on, though, Joseph, and I am already this is going to be a theme for me. I'm already jumping to conclusions on the Bills. The Bills are going to be weak this year. They are going to be super weak. I hated seeing them put 6 points up in a preseason game. I hated seeing them lose Stephon Diggs. I think Josh Allen is not due for a big year. They did not do enough for me this offseason. They didn't seem like they progressed. If anything, it was lateral. And I think it could be a regression year for them.
You can miss me on that, but I will say I was more worried watching them, and very clearly you can see the separation in their lack of depth.
Yeah.
I think that they're not a deep team, but I don't necessarily agree that they're going to be like a super down year for them. I mean, they're gifted enough at enough spots, key spots, that they're still one of the AFC's top teams.
I don't know. They lost Poyer. I didn't like that. I thought he was kind of a heartbeat of their team, and now he's in where? I know, but still a bit of a heartbeat. Now he's at where? AFC East rival Miami. The Bills are doing themselves no favors. I don't think they did themselves any favors this offseason at really any position. I think they're going to be a down year. Maybe they squeak into the playoffs. I don't think they're winning the AFC East.
This is going to be the most level-headed take that I have for my last one. Michael Penix put up some pretty good stats, but it didn't seem like they really asked him to do anything too crazy. I think he had the most passing yards or so, or he was up there.
He was just running some boring offense, which is right. Which I don't mind.
Yes,
run some boring offense in the preseason.
I was just watching Bo Nix before we started recording. His first couple throws were pretty brutal, where he was doing this weird, stupid shit where he was running up to the line of scrimmage and then throwing while he was running up to the line of scrimmage. It was one of the weirdest things. He wasn't setting his feet. He was trying to get a full head start sprint while trying to throw the football.
Like he's trying to throw a javelin almost.
Not like it was just like he was trying to evade pressure, but instead of just moving away from pressure and trying to set his feet and throw, he was almost just leaving his whole chest. It was very weird the way that he was doing it.
I don't like that.
First couple of throws, I was prepared for everyone to freak out, but then he had a couple and recovered. The big one that everyone's geeking out over is JJ McCarthy, who, I mean, let's be honest, he looked terrible. He did not look good at all. The level-headedness that I'm coming for is don't rush to judgment on him specifically. And any other rookie quarterback for the next couple weeks. these guys outside of Caleb Williams and Jayden Daniels, and Drake May comes into this conversation too. Outside of those two guys who were the most ready to play, projects are not going to immediately hit the ground running. There is a lot of work that needs to go into this. And JJ McCarthy was severely overdrafted, just like Penix and Nix were, like everybody talked about after the draft. So if he looks like crap the next couple of weeks, there is room for him to improve. There is a possibility for him to take as long as Jordan Love did. But the thing that sucks for him is he doesn't have a situation to sit and to learn and to develop. All I'm saying is brace yourselves for what could be a pretty ugly preseason for him.
I'm still down on McCarthy. I mean, that interception looked like a JJ McCarthy interception to a T. It was a definition of it. I'm scrambling. I'm trying to make something happen. I'm making the wrong decision, and the wrong decision isn't even a good play because the ball wasn't placed in the right spot, and now it's getting picked off, and we're off the field on offense. Mm-hmm. You know who did pop for me? Joe Milton. That was nice to see. I'll say this.
Yeah, I watched him throw the ball as hard as he could on every single throw.
My last preseason takeaway, Joe Milton should be around football in some fashion in the NFL. Make him a Hail Mary specialist. He should stick around with the Patriots. Be the guy. Be the fan favorite. I don't think he's going to be a franchise saver. I don't think he's going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. But he should be on a team as the Hail Mary specialist or hey, Joe Milton's on the field. They're doing something.
You know what? Here's my toxicity coming into play here. I want him to continue to get better. By the way, it doesn't surprise me that he's gotten some love just from training camp practices because he is the practice king. He is the guy who, when everybody's standing there and he's throwing the ball as hard as he can and as far as he can, every non-football knower sees him and goes, wow, look at this guy. Like, this guy is so physically gifted. And, of course, he's dicing up a bunch of backups in the preseason.
Yeah.
You're right. He's not a franchise saver. But what I really want to happen, my toxicity, I want some dumbass team to just get overly juiced up and trade for him and think that and say to the Patriots, "Oh, you guys got Drake May. You don't need him. Let's take him off your hands. We'll give you a fourth or a third, and we're gonna take him in and we're gonna develop him, and he's gonna be our guy." And then I just want it to blow up in their faces. I don't know who that's going to be. With my luck, it'll be the Giants. But I would love to see somebody get overly bit on the Joe Milton hype train. This happens every offseason, and it's going to happen every offseason until he's done playing football. But on the more positive note, yes, I agree. I would love to see him stick on a roster. I think that they should carry 3 quarterbacks. Bailey Zappi's gone. Sorry, Bailey.
Oh, no, he's sticking around. I think the funniest outcome for Joe Milton is the Titans get rid of Will Levis and bring in Joe Milton. So they replace Will Levis with Will Levis. Pollard looked good for them. Yeah, he looks okay. They'll be fine.
I think that's it for...
I'm excited for more preseason, man. Dude, it's here. And you know what? This is why we love football. Because last night, I'm hanging out with buddies, and we're just kind of sitting pregame and chilling. And you know what we could put on? We could put on some football. It's just the best. You're not sitting around watching YouTube videos or anything. There's football on. It's the great, agreeable programming.
So in that note, last night I was playing. You were out with your friends. I was playing poker at our apartment with. We have a game room downstairs.
Yeah.
We were using the game room, and we were watching the preseason football. I have a couple idiot friends who kept trying to change it and put other things on. Mm-hmm. I got one friend who's a total wild card. He randomly kept pulling up conspiracy videos every 2 minutes. So guys, you should watch this. And I'm like, no, we're playing poker, man. Can we please stop? And then it got to the point where it was by the end of the night, I was like, turn that up. I obviously wasn't buying into it. But it's just so stupid. You talk about we need football back.
Yeah,
you talk about the attention spans of 20-something-year-olds when they're hanging out with their buddies. Put a goddamn football game on and shut the hell up. Oh, stop playing weird videos.
Oh, that's so funny, man.
All right, at Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio, at Hack City Pod. Hit the subscribe button. Leave us a 5-star review. We'll talk to you folks later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's not the weekend. You're listening to this on a Sunday. Whatever.